Today we are going to discuss one of the most important coastal country or based on Iceland country, which is Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is one of the most vulnerable country regarding of climate issues worldwide, and they are facing coastal crisis to every situations based on climate impact. They are facing flood, they are facing drought, they are facing water scarcity, they are facing agriculture issue, they are facing unusual heat waves, they are facing sea level rise, even they are facing unusual environmental climate crime situations. So this is the time to act on for Sri Lankan development. This is the time for their climate crisis resilience strategies. This is the time for adaptation and mitigation strategies for one of the most important Iceland country, which is one of the most important as a tourism perspective also based on South Asia. The country is Sri Lanka. We all know there is amount of population is not far, but it's amount of 2.2 crore population, but this amounts to belongs to a majority part of South Asia, which is connected with India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, China, and all about the areas belongs to Indian Oceans and the countries which is all over the country, all over related to Indian Ocean circles. They all belongs to this small Iceland, and we all know their cultural heritage is extremely belongs to early meteorological period and still ongoing. So climate crisis is daily is a basic crisis for the human lives or the daily structure of coastal lives. They are facing their drought situation is a regular crisis for their climate issues. They are facing extreme flood situation or the unusual sea level rise, unusual rainfalls. So this is going up, and this is the time to act on for Sri Lanka. They actually need funding for like climate finance, which is very important for their development, their resilience structure, their adaptation structure, and their mitigation policies. So climate finance, which we are talking about, the global impactful, and which we already talked at COP29, because COP29 was a key base of climate finance. They're already discussed about how above $400 billion, but the thing is that this is the time to invest on Sri Lanka for the global strategies, because they need some support from the developing to developed nations to maintain their coastal development. We all know that there should be a mitigation strategy on agriculture, which is called the resilient agriculture system and organic agriculture system, which will be beneficiary. But extreme flood situation, there are salinity zones are extremely affected, and the agriculture lands are affected day by day. Their basic economical and global perspective belongs to agriculture, which based on more than 60% of population all over the world. But I have the perspective on regarding on my ideologies on the five main key points that should be support from the global countries, which is basically belongs to climate resilience agriculture system, which is another is water resource management, which is belongs to storing rainwater harvesting, which is very important at the time of water scarcity, which is belongs to ecosystem restorations, because we have to make immediately or taking a fast action or reforestation, that is very important. Without reforestation, this is completely out of the mark of maintaining a balance of global situation which is going on, or which we have the target up but the end of 2030, the SDG goals. So the third time I have decided the disaster resilience infrastructure system, which is very important for Sri Lanka, and that is which is climate finance infrastructures, which I already discussed, that they need the climate finance goals, they need the climate finance strategy, they actually required both the basic needs and also the how it does time of water, how they can use the water for their agriculture system or better agriculture system on the organic agriculture system, which will be helpful for the future. because the population is growing day by day. We know that the term is green energy transitions, because they should adopt on it, on using the particular resources which they have in their hand, and they should use on the green energy for the upcoming development. And we are actually targeting the basic Iceland countries, because they are actually belongs to coastal areas. They are suffering more and more, and their situation is extremely poor. And this is the time that we should act on, that how we can follow up the, when the worldwide more than 85 countries are trying to make the climate finance goal is more we should be more profitable, more high rise, that should be beneficiary for more developing countries. Even on the tourism perspective, which is very important countries, Maldives, Sri Lanka, regarding many countries, Myanmar, Bhutan, Nepal, they all facing this kind of unusual climate threats, and this is the time to act on. And I personally believe my ideology on my point of views regarding resilient agriculture, to water resource management, to climate finance management, this all belongs to their sustainability, and we should think on their sustainable structure. This is the time, this is to act on. And this is, I am Souvik Chongder from the Global Climate Care. I am thinking this is the time to help from our over that most of the developed countries belongs to United States, China, Russia. They should be a supportive member of Sri Lanka regarding climate finance, regarding their future goal, regarding renewable energy sources, regarding green energy transition, which is very important for Sri Lanka future. Thank you very much.